special. I just happen to swim faster than anybody else. Doesn't mean like I'm the best. I mean, I am cool, but I didn't need to be treated like a famous person. Like that. I am cool. But it was hard for me to live a normal lifestyle because I had that. You know, I would go places in public and people would ask for a picture with me. I'm 15. You know, like that's so weird. But I always made sure that I was going to prom, I was doing outside stuff, I was going to homecoming, I was hanging out with my friends, but like if there was prom on Friday night, I wouldn't stay out until 3 a.m. I'd go to prom, I'd go home, and then I'd be ready for practice that next day. So it's a little bit of compromise, but I knew I needed to do it, and I still allowed time for a social life, but also being able to wake up the next morning and be ready for practice. Because I knew that practice is just getting me one step closer to being the athlete that I want to be. And for me, that was super important. And also, I had stuff outside of swimming. We spend so much time in school staring at a black line. If that is your only outlet and source of happiness, what's going to happen when you start having a bad season? You have a bad practice. You're going to be like really sad. And so for me, I played violin and piano. That was sort of my outside thing. We have musicians here, like drawing, acting, whatever it is, like do something to get you away from the pool because as soon as this, and this is everything. I am a swimmer, I will always be a swimmer, but I will always have something else. And I think if you have that something else, it can make life better when this isn't going necessarily well. So I think having a balance in life and finding something, you don't even need to be good at it. You can be the worst violin player in the world, but at least it's something to do that gets you away from the pool. And I think for me growing up, that was huge, just, you know, doing something else. And just remember that nobody's journey is the same. Like for me, I didn't start doing doubles until college. Some teams do doubles in high school, some teams don't. For me, I didn't, but I had to drive 45 minutes there back to go to the team that I wanted to go to. And I would not be standing here in front of you guys if it weren't for my parents. And you guys wouldn't be sitting here today if it weren't for your parents. Okay, so some of you might have a 5-minute drive to practice, some of you might have an hour. Regardless of how long that drive is, do we have our license? Yeah, some of us do. Well, at one point, your parents will be driving you to practice. Right now, it's every day, and I bet you guys are excited. I know my mom was. My dad was like, oh, I'm not driving her. You got it. So every day, my mom drove me to practice. 45 minutes there, sat in her car for 3 hours, and then drove me home 45 minutes back. So if it weren't for her, I would not be here. So be sure every time you get out of the car, just say thanks. Even if you're fighting. I fought with my parents all the time in high school. Just say thank you because they do not have to do this. So if they're going to bring you to practice and you're going to be there, make sure you make it worth it. Not only for yourself, but for their sake. Because they're spending their time to bring you to something that you love to do. So they're and your coaches too. I mean, they're also a huge role in your swimming career. You wouldn't be swimming right now if it weren't for them. You wouldn't be good or breaking records if it weren't for them. So make sure you thank your coaches too, because without those two things, you do not get to be here right now. And you do not get to go to the Olympics one day. So on that note, any questions? I could tell you stories. So you can ask me stories. Yeah. It's so hard. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. For me, before I got my license, for me to keep getting good grades, I did all my homework in the car. I mean, I had 45 minutes there and back, and I would sit in the back seat and just do my homework. Swimming is so awesome, but it is very time consuming, and you have to learn time management. And for me, honestly, I took every opportunity that I had to do homework, and I try to get back. Luckily for me, I was an Olympian in high school. So pretty much if I was like, hey, I'm going to be leaving for the next 3 weeks to go to a training camp, my teachers were cool. Because they knew, but then that's not the case for everybody. So be proactive. Tell your teachers ahead of time if you're not going to be there. Be like, listen, I'm doing this swim camp, or I'm going to the swim meet because it's going to make me better. It's going to help me reach my dreams. I need to do this. How are we going to work this out? Just be honest. And if it gets too much, don't go to the meet. Your education is way more important than your swimming. I promise you. School is always first. So get your homework done and then do everything else after. I missed a ton of practices because I did too much homework. I just make sure that the next practice I went to, I worked twice as hard to make up for it. So seriously, you will have your education forever. Swimming does not last forever. Swimming will probably not get you a job. So just remember that. Well, yeah. That's a great question. So the question was, if you have a setback, how do you keep yourself positive? I have too many examples of this. I went through a period of my swimming career where I didn't go best time in my turn backstroke for 5 years. 5 years. It was awful. And yeah, I was swimming well in other events, but turn backstroke was always my best event. And I remember I would work so hard on backstroke sets. I would try so hard at knees, and it just wasn't clicking. And then finally, when it did click, it was when I wasn't thinking about going that best time. It clicked at the Olympics in the finals, and I got a bronze medal in turn backstroke and won a best time. So it happens sometimes at the best moments when you least expect it, or it just, you can't overthink how bad you're doing. Everybody is going to go through a slump where they want to quit, where they're not swimming well, where they're having a bad practice. Just know that it is not permanent. You can always get better. You just might have to wait 5 years like I did. It's not really fun. But it made that best time so much sweeter. I had waited so long for it. I had worked so hard for it. And when I did it, I dropped over a second. And when you're at my level, that is huge. That never happens. And that's another thing that you guys will start to notice. When you get older, you are not going to keep going best times. My best time for the 400 IM is from 2012. It's 2017. I'm never going to go that time again. That's just reality, you know? But I can still swim at that high level. And it is hard when you're not personally improving, but when you're around teammates and you're having fun and it's a positive environment, sometimes that makes it all worth it, you know? And you don't, I cannot reiterate this enough, you do not have to be the best on your team to be important or to make an impact. In Rio, I was team captain. I won 0 medals. I was maybe the least important swimmer on the team, but where I didn't contribute in racing and medals and points, whatever you want to call it, I contributed in my leadership. I made sure that if somebody needed help getting their count on, I was there. I made sure that if somebody was racing, they saw me in the stands cheering for them. I made sure that I was there for anybody and everybody who needed me to be there for them. So that's where I contributed, but you do not need to be the best on your team to make an impact. And I think that's also huge too, because I have been the best on my team. I was the best on my college team. I've been the best at world championships. And then I've also been in the works. I've also not won medals and still have been important. So I think that's something that you guys can take away too, whether it's high school, college, club. You don't need to be the best to make an impact. Yeah. The question was, which Olympic swimmer do I dislike the most? To be honest, I don't dislike anybody. No, seriously. When you're on the Olympic team, people are so cool. Like, my teammates are Michael Phelps and Katie Ledecky in Missy Frank, how could I just, like and that's the great thing about swimmers as a whole, whether you're an Olympian or not, we are the best people ever. And you will learn this when you go to college and you have to interact with other athletes. Football players think they are the best. They are not. They do not work the hardest. We as swimmers, we work the hardest. We're the nicest people. We're just genuine. I know, we're great. Like, right? I'm so happy you guys are swimmers. And that is the best thing about being on an Olympic team, because you hear about other teams, you know, like basketball players and football players trash talking each other and just not getting along with their teammates. That has never happened on an Olympic team. I've been on 12 teams straight. We have never had problems. I guess Michael and that guy didn't really like each other. That was just one weird thing. But other than that, pretty much everybody loves each other, and it's also great too because you never get to spend time with these people. We all train in different parts of the country, so when we do get a chance to be at a camp together and represent the United States together, it's like seeing your long lost friends. It's a reunion. It's so much fun. But yeah, I mean, we're literally just like you guys, just in bigger bodies. It's so much fun.
Who were your role models when you were 13, 14, 15 before you went to the Olympics?
Yeah, so my role models growing up, I loved Janet Evans. Actually, this is cool. When I made my first national team, I was 13, and I did like an interview, and they were like, who's your role model? And I was like, Janet Evans is. And Janet Evans hand wrote me a letter saying how excited she was to like watch me come up and watch me become an Olympian, and signed it, and I still have it framed to this day. Another role model for me was Natalie Coughlin. She was also she had a huge impact on me personally. When I made my first national team, like I said, I was 13. I was still in middle school. The next oldest person on that team was 19 years old. When you're 19 and older, you don't want to be friends with a 13. I was a loner. I had no friends. And it was really hard for me. I mean, people looked out for me. I had big brothers and big sisters. But I would sit at tables alone and just eat because I was too scared to go sit with people because they were my idols. I had these people on posters in my room. And now I'm representing the United States with them. Like, think about how weird that is. I still have braces. Like, nobody wanted to be friends with me. But Natalie, who was also I had a huge Speedo poster of her in my room. And it was always my dream, side note, to be a Speedo athlete, and now I am. Which is so cool, I'll get to that. But I remember eating a lunch alone in our team area, and Natalie left her table and came and sat down with me. And literally she just asked me, hey, how was your breakfast? I could have just won the run. I was so happy with it. Natalie Coughlin knows me? Of course, Elizabeth, you're on the team with her. Like, but for her to come and sit down next to me and simple question, just ask me how my day was the best moment ever. Because you're gonna have times where maybe you don't fit in or you see somebody else not fitting in. And that's one of the things that I do as a leader. If I see somebody eating alone or I see somebody not really vibing with the team, I'll go sit with them. I'll go talk to them and ask them how their day is. Because I know what that can do for them. That can turn their day from 0 to 100. It could go from depressed to like, oh my God, Elizabeth Beisel asked me how my day was. And it's so simple, but it's such a big thing that you can do for somebody. And so Natalie did that for me. And once she did that, I finally felt like I belonged on the national team. I was finally like, okay, somebody cares about me, maybe. Maybe she's being nice, I didn't care. She said hi to me. She asked me how I was doing. So you can do that, especially in high school age. Things get a little catty. Include everybody. You're not going to get along with everybody, but at least respect everybody and be nice to each other. Even your teammates. You don't need to like everybody, but definitely respect everybody. Yeah.
So what happens when you feel like the work is
So the question was, what happens 5 years without a best time. But think of it as that money in the bank. You know, like it might not come up when you want it to, but it will show up at some point. How old are you? 17, yeah. You have not even come close to your best swimming yet. Trust me. Trust me. If I could tell myself that, I would. You have so many years left of swimming. Are you planning on swimming in college? Yeah, do it. By the way, swimming in college is the best thing ever. Do it. Because maybe your body is just used to what you're doing and it needs a change. And you'll get that at college. Not saying that what you're doing is wrong right now, but it just might be a little stale. Like when I went to college, I had the best year of my life freshman year. Because I think it was just something new in my body. Change is not supposed to be a bad thing. It's supposed to be a good thing. And just have faith that you're not always going to be down here. It'll make getting up here worth it. You just have to spend a little bit of time down here to get there. Just stay positive. Yeah. What is it? Oh, what's it like being a speedo? Good. So, okay, when I was little, all of my posters were speedo athletes. Summer Sanders, Janet Evans, Natalie Coughlin. Like that was my dream come true. That was my dream. And then in 2014, after I finished swimming at Florida, I was lucky enough to have Speedo interested in signing me, and I've had the Speedo ever since for 3 years. And it is so cool. Like talk about the free stuff. When I first signed with them, they sent me like 5 huge boxes of just racing suits, practice suits, goggles, caps, training stuff, clothes, literally everything a swimmer could dream of, I was getting times like 5. And I'm at the point in my career where I never don't race in a suit. Every race I swim is in a brand new suit. That you guys are not, you don't need that. It's also like every race that I swim is like a world championship, so you want to be in a new suit, the Olympics. But it's photo shoots are awesome. Like I get to do photo shoots with me in Korea, and I'm like, you know, like, oh, you want me to pose with him? Okay. You know, like it's so much fun. They know there was, But then you get your makeup done and your hair done. It's literally a girl's dream. And you get to wear the new line of practice suits that nobody else has seen yet but you. And they do this cool, you know the photos? Sorry, the photo that you'll see there, I look like wet. I didn't actually jump in the water. They just put oil all over my body and then sprayed me with a water can or water sprayer. Like, you are a princess, and it is the coolest thing ever because like I said, I get to come to Speedo teams like this and speak to you guys, and that's always been a dream of mine as well. So I feel like I've made it because I've come to the Olympics and I've been sponsored by Speedo. Those are like my 2 favorite things. And Speedo, honestly, I mean, I might be biased, but we're the best. So it's awesome, and we get to do appearances and stuff all the time. It's very lucky, very, very lucky. My favorite suit is the Laser X. So it's not the newest one, Laser Elite. It's the one that doesn't have this piping on it. It's the colored suit. The one you can get like one leg and then the other leg. I might like it the most because of the colors too. Because I walk up to the blocks and I can feel like a rainbow. I love it. I love like bright suits, and that's why I love that suit. So I always race in different colors when I can. I always ask for the new ones. Like, you got that purple and pink one? Please. I want to touch on one thing. This is a question, but I got asked about it in the first session on nutrition. Hopefully you guys all have a lot of knowledge. Nutrition is so important, especially for you guys getting older. And log this in the back of your mind for a couple of years from now. Your metabolisms will slow, stuff will start happening. You need, right? So nutrition is a 24/7 thing. If you have a meet Saturday morning and it's Friday night and you're like, yo mom, we gotta meet tomorrow, gotta go to Olive Garden, gotta eat 73 breadsticks and this bowl of pasta. No! Just no! Like that is so not what you need to do. You can not change what you're eating just because you have a meet that next day. What you're eating that night before your meet should be the same thing that you're eating every other night. Your stomach needs to know what's in it. If you shock it with 73 breadsticks, you're not going to swim well, I promise. So, yeah, maybe have one or two, but just remember, moderation is key. Obviously, you're going to have nights where you want ice cream, you want cake and stuff. Eat it. Like, just eat it. Don't feel bad about it. Just don't do it every night, you know? Maybe don't eat it during the meet, but reward yourself after the meet. Because as soon as you start getting my age, you need to be a lot more conscious about what you're eating. And, I mean, you guys are burning so many calories right now. But really, it's eat a balanced diet. You will thank yourself. You will swim better. Another tip, do we do doubles here? Yeah, so you guys swim in the morning very early. I hate eating before practice in the morning. I hate it. For 2 years in college, I woke up and literally rolled out of bed and showed up to practice. And then I'm like, why are my morning practices so bad? It took me 2 years to learn. Like, oh, because I haven't eaten anything in 14 hours. No kidding. And so my nutritionist was like, all right, I know you don't like to eat before practice. Why don't you make a smoothie? So I bought a Nutribullet and I made a smoothie every morning before morning practice. Literally within a week, I noticed a difference. You need to have calories in your body in order to swim well. You're breaking down so much muscle. If you're not giving it something back to repair all that broken down muscle, you're in a bad cycle, not gaining muscle and just breaking yourself down. So have a smoothie in the morning. And it's like, you don't even need to make it a big smoothie, just get something. And so for me, I even do that if I'm racing earlier in the morning. I'll have a smoothie and then a bigger breakfast after I race. Just make sure you're getting something. Fueling all day round. That's my little nutrition. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, so these Gatorade bottles, I drink a lot of water. I probably drink 8 32-ounce Gatorade bottles a day. So much. Now, my peak hydration days were when I was swimming in Florida. So I'm outside in the sun training twice a day. It's so hot. I mean, you guys are from Texas, you know what heat is. You're sweating so much out. If you're not replacing that, you're going to be dehydrated, and that's going to be about cycle. We did actually at Florida, we did a little experiment about hydration during practice. So we weighed ourselves before practice, drank what we thought was the normal amount for practice, and then weighed ourselves after. And I remember one practice, I lost 5 pounds, like 4.5 pounds, in 2 hours. I was like, ooh, I feel good. But I was also like, it's just water. You need to be replenishing yourself. So Gatorade, water, whatever you prefer, just make sure you're getting a lot of water. Because if you're not doing that, you're going to be tight, you're not going to be recovering as well, and you're going to feel stiff. And nobody likes to do that. So please hydrate. So the question was, how do you, or do I have any tips to help you guys when you guys have negative thoughts or not swimming well, how to get back to practice? Just know that every single Olympian, including myself, has wanted to quit swimming at some point. I have hated swimming. I hated swimming for 8 months. You know, I had to take a break for that long. But just know that that state of mind is not going to be permanent. You know, you are going to have bad thoughts. We're human. Just don't let those bad thoughts become a habit. Lean on teammates that are positive, that are having a good practice. Hopefully you have good teammates that recognize when you're having a bad practice and they try to cheer you up. Also, if you're at a meet and you're having a bad meet and you go back to your team area and you throw your cap and goggles down, or you want this, keep it to yourself. Because you do not want to spread that negative energy to the rest of your team. In Rio, after my 4 IM, I got 6th place. Looking back, that's great. But at the time, I was pissed. I was like, that is terrible. I went into the showers and cried 45 minutes alone. True story. But I had to do that because I'm not going to bring my negative energy back to the team area. These people are trying to win Olympic gold medals. They don't care about me right now. I mean, they care about me, but you have a bad race, cry it out in the locker room by yourself, call your mom or your dad or whatever, but don't bring it back to the team area. Because then you're not, that's just you being a bad teammate and you're not helping everybody else get better. Especially when you're at the Olympics, you're representing the United States of America at the Olympics. That is way bigger than my corner I am. And you have to realize that. Some things are going to be bigger than your own self, and you need to remove yourself from that. But no, like, those negative thoughts, that negative energy, it's not a forever thing. Just try to believe in yourself and remind yourself of all the hard work that you've done, and don't let it go to waste, because it will pay off in the end. Sometimes you just have to wait a little bit longer than everybody else does. So. We good? One more? One more. Oh, that's a good question. It was, how did I know what my best event was going to be? Honestly, I probably didn't know until I was 11. That was when I got really good at 200 backstroke, but for me, I'm a corner IMer. Every event sort of has to be a good event for me. I swim all the 200s and all the strokes, but I think once you get a little bit older, you'll slowly figure out what your niche is. But, I mean, some people don't figure out their best. This is a great example. Ryan Lochte got recruited to swim at University of Florida to swim the mile. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. Coach Troy recruited Ryan Lochte to swim the mile and the 500. He's a 200 backstroker and corner IMer. 200 IM. So, and that was when he was 20 years old. Your events are always changing. You don't need to necessarily lock into one event. And it's, I mean, you will always have the best stroke, I guess, but you can be good at anything, really. You're training all 4 strokes here. If you work at it, you can be good at it. I think my first corner I had was when I was 13. Because I don't think it's an event for 12 and under. So, when I was 13 years old, yeah. And I've been doing it ever since. Okay, anybody have parents?
What's your favorite type of dry land work to do?
Oh, dry land. I love dry land. That's a good question. Okay. I will be the first to admit, when I was in high school, I thought dry land was BS. I thought it was a waste of time. I was like, why am I doing these 1,000 crunches? It's not going to make me better. Okay, that is a terrible attitude to have. Your coaches are having you do dry land because it is important. And I swear, as soon as I started taking dry land more seriously, I got better immediately. For me, I love to run. That's sort of my dry land thing that I like to do my own. But the normal swimmer stuff, crunches, push-ups, squats, just like body weight stuff. And I didn't start lifting weights until I went to college. If you guys are lifting weights now, that's fine. But know that you don't necessarily have to start lifting weights right now. Just doing also something out of the water is huge because you're going to develop muscles where you wouldn't be able to in the pool. That can help you be a better swimmer. So take dry land seriously. It is so important. Your coaches would not have you do it if they wouldn't waste your time like that. They'd rather go home, right? Like that. You know, they're not going to have you here for no reason. Are you ready? All right. So we're going to do autographs and pictures now. If you guys have like anything other than the cards up there, like a swim bag, a shirt, I'll sign it for you. I'll take pictures for you. Selfies, I love. Snapchat. So whatever you guys need. And again, thank you guys so much for coming. I know it's been a long day. You guys have practice. Really appreciate it. But hopefully one day you can be me standing up here and I've inspired you through my normalcy because, like I've said, if I can do it, you guys can do it. But you're already on the right track being here. So good luck.